Day two of my travels in Cambodia. Today, we're going temple hopping, starting off with the legendary Angkor Wat. I often call the city temple, and let me tell you, that name is no exaggeration. This place is absolutely massive. The moment you step inside your head with its sheer scale, it's the kind of thing that makes you take a step back just to process it. The size alone is enough to be intimidating, and it is. But then you add the fact that the structure has been standing here for centuries, and it becomes even more surreal. Usually, when something this ancient and old exists, it's locked up behind a glass in a museum protected from the world. But here, you have the complete freedom to explore. You can walk through the archways that kings and monks once passed through and stand in the courtyards where entire civilizations once gathered. Angkor Wat isn't just a single temple, it's a complex layer intriguing you. There are multiple levels, almost like a different world stacked up on top of each other. The upper level feels like a whole another temple, towering over everything below. You climb up steep, worn stone steps to reach it. Once you're up there, the view is breathtaking from that height. We can just see the fast temple grounds. You can just see how fast the temple grounds really are. The design of Angkor Wat is fascinating as well. It has everything. There are carvings and bas relief covering the walls, telling stories from Hindu mythology and ancient Khmer history. There are also bathing areas similar to the ones I saw in Rome, a reminder of how advanced these civilizations were. The entire place feels like a museum, except there are no barriers between you and history. It's easy to get lost in thought here, just standing in middle of all, picturing what this place have looked like in its prime, filled with people, ritual, and life. Even though time has worn it down, it still stands powerfully unshaken, a true wonder of the world, making it the largest religious monument. It's unreal. And then we moved on to the second temple. Like as soon as you walk in for this one, there's usually like old man playing traditional. I want to say Cambodian music, but I can't be sure. This one was really small, but it was nice as well because they had a lot of these type of wall carvings. The bas reliefs were really nice. They were basically littered all over the place, and you'll see more of these here too. But this one was extremely small in comparison to Angkor Wat, but in comparison to all the other ones we've been to. So it did not really take me too long to explore the whole thing, but it was still really nice because it had its own style of structure, but also its own style of art. Like it wasn't really a place people lived. It was more of a place people worshipped and came to sort of offer gifts and stuff like that. So that was really nice. It took me about like 20-25 minutes, and then by then I was done. And then we moved on to the third temple. This one would probably be my second favorite temple I've been to because of like just the structure of it all. It was very high in peak, and I like the lotus flower structures from the get-go. It goes from like first floor to third floor. It feels like you're skipping floors, which was really nice. This was one of the worship sites. For this one, we could go in, but because there weren't people weren't really using it, it was kind of scary because it was like, what if something falls on my head? Did not have travel insurance, so it would have been terrible. They let us go in there and see like what their worship sites kind of look like, and then looking out, this view was like the camera's not doing justice. It was so surreal. It was really nice, the greenery and everything. Now this place really, I mean, they said we could go in. I just didn't feel comfortable with it because it was an active prayer site. People like were going in there to like offer their worships and stuff like that, and it had the same structure where like the I was like, I don't know if something falls on me, but also I didn't want to wear my shoes in there or be disrespectful. So I was like, yeah, let me not do that. And then moving on to the fourth temple. This one was my favorite one. It was the coolest one. I am a little bit annoyed, but not annoyed. They didn't let us explore the top part because it was very fragile and it could fall apart, which honestly is understandable. But the bottom part was so cool. This one was it did a different sort of job. This was more of like a governmental thing where it documented other like things that happened, like all the drawings on the wall. Supposedly, what he told us was that these events that actually happened, and there were ones that were extremely detailed in like a war that was going on, or like if you see the upstairs part, or like a meeting that like a very important meeting that happened. I think this place was very fascinating. Also, just like how tight the space was really cool because it felt like a proper place that people were in, and not just like a museum part. Because Angkor Wat, as cool as it felt more of a, like you were walking through a museum. Here it felt like you were actually walking through like the areas that people lived. And it it got dark. It got dark, and I don't know if like Cambodia has snakes. So I was like, what if there were snakes? But luckily, nothing, no animals, no snakes, nothing like that. And I really wish we got to go upstairs. But this is the third. This is the steps to go up to the fourth floor, but they didn't let us. And did a little bit more exploring after that. And I think I forgot the name of this temple, but easily this temple is my favorite temple, simply because of like it felt like you were actually experiencing the place. Anyways, that is gonna be it for the temple hopping. You should let me know where I should go next.